Hello, my lovelies. We have something a little different today. I'm going to be telling you some of my personal ghost stories. These are true. They have either happened to me or to family and people directly close to me. And so here we go. I'm really excited. The first ghost story I'm going to be telling you is the one that probably affected my life the most, and that is the story of the man in black. So this is 100% true. I'm going to recall it as best as I can remember it from this happened when I was a little girl in kindergarten. Okay, so when I was little, I was an introvert. I didn't have a lot of friends. We found out later I was very, very smart, and maybe that's why I didn't want to hang out with kids. We don't really know, but at the point in time, I was like an introvert. I like to wear my hair in front of my face like this. And I had darker hair when I was younger. I was like brown, so I had my little brown hair all in front of my face. I would wear it literally like this, and I would hide from people inside my hair. I wouldn't look directly at them, and if they got near me, I would be weird, and I would either growl at them or whatever, because I didn't want people around me. I wanted them just to leave me alone. I didn't really like kids my age. I liked adults. I liked hanging out with adults and listening to adult conversations and just being with people older than me. So for recess, which is the break that you get during school, I would go and I'd be by myself because I didn't have any friends anyways. So I would go and I would sit on the grass out on the field, and I would either look for ladybugs, or I'd play with bees, or sometimes I would make daisy chains. So on this particular day, I was making daisy chains, and that is where you take a flower and you put a hole in the stem, and you put another flower through, and you keep on until you can make a crown. While I was doing this, I came from a very religious family, and they always talked about God, and they prayed and for everything, and always prayed to God, and they always said, well, ask God this, talk to God about that. On this particular day, I felt kind of sad, kind of lonely, and so I thought, well, it's okay, I'll just talk to God. I don't have any friends, that's fine, I'll talk to God. So I was talking out loud like I am now, and I don't remember what about, because I was just a little kid. And actually I wasn't in kindergarten, I was in second grade. It was not kindergarten, it was second grade. But anyway, so I'm talking out loud to God, and I'm not hearing him talk back, I'm just talking. And then the bell rings to go line up for, recess is over, time to go back in class. Well, I hear, as soon as the bell rings, I hear right by my ear, I hear, Shaenna, my name. And I startle because it's right next to my ear. And I flip around. Nobody right next to me, but way off on the other side of the field, way at the end of the field, on the other side of the fence, there is the man in black. Okay, so we're talking chain link fence. It's got to be 7 foot tall chain link fence, right? This guy's hat was taller than the fence. That means his head was taller than the fence. He was wearing a black hat with big old wide black brim. He had a black trench coat that went to the floor. He had on black slacks. He had on black shoes that were shiny. I could see the shiny from how far away I was. And his face was completely black. There was no face to it. Absolutely no face. And so that was the part that creeped me out the most. And then I hear my name again, Shaenna, right next to my ear. And I am like, what the heck? And so I run, jet, all the way to the line. And I'm upset, but the teacher, she doesn't really pay attention. So I go home. Next day, as I'm leaving school, because I lived across the street, so I only had to walk across the street, and I was literally the second apartment right on the other side of the street. So the second day I was off of school, I was walking home, and I walked literally across the street from school was my home. So there was the apartments were just across the street, so I had to walk under the cover, turn a corner, walk across the street, there's my home. Super, super simple. The bell had rang. I had to stay behind for a few moments to talk to my teacher, so by the time I left, the hallways were pretty much empty. I was halfway down this cover over, and when I mean a cover over, it was basically just a roof over the hallways from classroom to classroom. That way, if you were walking from class to class and it was raining, you wouldn't get wet. That's all the thing was. I was halfway down the hall, and all of a sudden, I hear my name, Shaenna. And all of a sudden, hair raises up on my arms. I turn and I look. Sure enough, there he is, the man in black. He's so tall. He's like 7, 8 foot tall. He has black hat, black trench coat, black slacks, shiny black shoes. He's closer and I still can't see his face. At this point, I'm seriously freaking out. And he says my name again, Shaenna. But this time, it was like more, not a whisper. It was more like, get your attention. Freaked me out. I ran as fast as I could to my home. Didn't tell anybody about it. I was just upset. Very next morning, I'm late for school. And I am walking underneath the cover over towards the office to go get my late pass. Because that's what you have to do when you're late. I get my late pass, and I am crying. And the lady is like, why are you crying? And I'm like, the man in black is following me, and he's closer today. And she's like, what? When I had walked home, or walked to school that day, underneath the little cover over, standing on top of it, was the man in black. I literally had to walk underneath him. He was standing there looking down at me. Black face. There was nothing there. It was all black. Black hat. Black everything. Everything was black, and he was there. He was literally feet above me. I'm crying. I'm hysterical. The woman's asking me to point out. I point out where he was. Of course there's no one there, or she doesn't see him. They have me wait. The lady's never been nicer to me. Gives me some soda, some crackers. I talk to these other two ladies. They ask me to talk to them about the man in black. I tell them all about him. Next thing I know, I'm being taken to Child Protective Services. True story. They were psycho-evaluating me, trying to see if I had been abused or what my problem had been in the home. Because obviously a kid is seeing things that aren't there. They did a IQ test on me, and they did a bunch of other tests on me. When they came to the man in black, I was smart enough to know, lie, don't tell them the truth. Don't tell them the truth. So I ended up telling them that I lied about the man in black because I was lonely and I needed attention or something along the lines of that. Totally not true. But I knew that the grown-ups never believe you. So they ended up letting me go. My mom is so upset with me. She's like, don't ever do that again. There's fantasy, there's reality, there's a big brick wall in the middle. And I try to tell her, yeah, but mommy, the man in black. And she's like, I don't want to hear about it. Don't ever talk about it again. So I feel ashamed. I ended up telling my uncle about it, and he gives me a troll doll. And he says, like, you know, rub the little troll doll's tummy on the little red gem anytime the man in black comes, and he'll go away. So I trusted my uncle, and I believed him. That night, I am in my room. I'm either asleep or about to be asleep. All of a sudden, I hear my name, Shaenna. And I fucking get up. Chills up and down my body, right? So, all of a sudden, I'm like, what's going on? I peel back the curtains. There he is, on the other side of the glass. This tall man. I am now this far away from him. I can't see his face. All I can see is his clothes, his hat, everything. He asked to come into my room. Or he asked to come in. He says, let me in. I'm not seeing lips move. I'm just hearing it. I'm like, no, you can't come in. And he says it again, let me in. And I say, no, you can't come in. And I know, as a little kid even, that he's not talking about my room. If he wanted in, he would be in already. He wants something else. He wants like inside of me or something. I don't know what, but he wants something bad. And I said, no. He asked one more time, let me in. More demanding. And I say, no, you can never come in. And I don't know, you're going to say this is bullshit, but I swear this is what I remember. He burst into these little black dots. I don't know if it was flies. I don't know if it was soot. I don't know what it was. But he just burst into all this little black specks of stuff. And it went everywhere. And he was gone. I don't know if I slept or not that night. I really don't. But that was my encounter with the man in black. So later on in life, I had a boyfriend who ended up being my karmatic. He was at one of my art shows with me using somebody else's camera. It was like my stepdad's camera, and he was taking pictures of these people doing fire dance. Well, in the fire dance, you can see the spin of the fire, and you can see it trail. You can see it completely trail, alright? You see a person running in the photograph, but there's only half a person. They're from the waist down. All you can see is a black trench coat, black slacks, and black shiny shoes. And you can see the shiny on the shoes. And there is 3 legs because they have ran so fast, it caught their leg 3 times. This is the thing. Even if it was a real person, why is there only half of them? You can't go see-through from half up. You would have to be blurred the whole way. There's no way. And they straight up, it was only half of them. The thing is, I know the man in black was not there for me. I know he was there for the other artists. At this particular place I showed, there was really dark energy on half of the building. And the artists on that half of the building seemed to do very dark art. So I feel like he was definitely there for them. And that he goes all over the place. What is he? Who is he? Is he just a shadow person? I don't know. Is he something else? I don't know. I know that I see shadow people all the time. I'm not afraid of them. I see them and I'm just like, where'd you go? Come back in the light. What are you doing? Where are you sneaking? Why are you looking at me? Are they people from a different dimension? I'm not sure. I had an encounter with an interesting individual, and they had told me that they had encountered the devil, and how they described the devil was exactly the way I described the man in black. Do I think the man in black was the devil? No, I don't. I really don't. I think if anything, he's just a shadow person. But it really it changed me as a kid, because I had seen things and known things already for a long time by that point in time. But that was the first time it had gotten me in that much trouble. And after that event, I got in trouble almost any time I said something about a ghost or other things like that. Because my family was worried that something would happen and I would get taken away. So I do understand after the fact that's why that happened. But it's just unfortunate that I had to go through my young child to young adult life wondering if the things I was seeing were legitly there or not. But so many things I've seen have been noticed by other people as well, and I'll be like, what did you see? And they'll tell me what they saw, and it correlates with what I saw. As for instance, last night my twin and I were coming home and everything lit up green, 3 times flashed, really, really bright. I mean, everything. I saw the entire car flash green, and I'm thinking, what the heck? And then he saw the whole fields around us and the sky light up green. Turns out that was probably a meteorite, but the fact that he saw it too, I'm like, am I tripping, or did you just see that? And he's all like, did everything light up green? And I'm like, yes, everything lit up green. And I'm like, how many times did you see it? He's all, it flashed 3 times. I'm like, okay, it flashed 3 times for me too, you know, because I had to make sure I'm not the only one. So, anyways, I digress too much, but I love you all, and this is the first of hopefully many true ghost stories for me. Also, if you guys like ghost stories, shout out real quick to realghoststoriesonline.com with Tony Brewski and Jenny Brewski. They're freaking awesome. I've been in EPP since they came up with EPPs, and I've been listening to them since they had literally like 3 episodes. So, and I've even actually told some of my ghost stories to them, the Man in Black being the very first story I ever told them to. So, I love you all. Talk to you later. And Halloween is around the corner.